Who's the biggest attention seeker you've ever met? My college roommate, Emma, was the kind of person who turned everything into a performance. She couldn't just walk into a room, she had to make an entrance. Fake stumbling, dropping her books, suddenly remembering she forgot something important, anything to get people looking at her. But her biggest thing was medical emergencies. Every few weeks, she'd have some dramatic health crisis that required immediate attention from everyone around her. It was like clockwork. First semester, she fainted during chemistry lab, just collapsed right there next to the Bunsen burners. Professor stopped class, called an ambulance, cleared the whole room. Emma was unconscious for maybe 30 seconds, but when she came to, she was disoriented and weak. The paramedics checked her vitals, asked about her medical history. Emma told them about this rare blood sugar condition she'd never mentioned before. They took her to the hospital for observation, and she milked it for 3 whole days. Everyone brought her soup, notes from missed classes, flowers. She posted hourly updates about her condition, thanking everyone for their thoughts and prayers. The attention was exactly what she wanted. Then it was migraines so severe she needed to leave parties early, but only after making sure everyone knew she was suffering. She'd clutch her head dramatically, squint at lights like they were physically painful, ask people to speak quieter. She'd stumble to her bed, groaning about how this always happened when she was stressed. People would offer to drive her to urgent care, bring her ice packs, sit with her in the dark. She ate up every second of concern. Spring semester brought appendicitis. She woke up at 3 in the morning screaming about stabbing pains in her side. I called an ambulance because she was doubled over, couldn't stand up straight. She spent an entire weekend in the hospital while doctors ran tests and monitored her condition. Visitors brought flowers, care packages, homework notes. Her room looked like a gift shop. She loved every second of the attention. But here's where it gets crazy. Our dorm had this bulletin board where people posted about lost items, study groups, tutoring offers, whatever. One day I saw Emma posting something, but she was being really secretive about it, looking around to make sure nobody was watching. Later that night, I checked the board out of curiosity. She'd posted a note asking if anyone had medical textbooks she could borrow for a research project, specifically books about emergency conditions, symptoms, and diagnostic procedures. I thought maybe she was just interested in medicine because of all her recent health issues. Maybe she wanted to understand what was happening to her body. But then I started paying attention to her browser history on our shared computer. She'd been Googling things like how to fake appendicitis symptoms and make yourself faint safely, and medical conditions that get you immediate attention. Page after page of this stuff, going back months. There were forum posts about people who'd successfully fooled doctors, YouTube videos about acting techniques, even medical websites about rare conditions that were hard to diagnose. She'd been studying this like it was her major. The breaking point came during finals week. Emma announced she needed emergency surgery for a burst ovarian cyst. She was wheeled out on a stretcher at 2 in the morning, crying about how she might miss her exams and fail everything. I felt terrible for suspecting her of anything, so I brought flowers to the hospital the next day. When I asked the nurse at the front desk which room Emma was in, she looked confused and checked her computer twice. "We don't have anyone by that name registered here," she said. "Are you sure you have the right hospital? Maybe she was transferred somewhere else?" I checked 3 other hospitals in the area. Nothing. Emma was completely missing for 4 days. Her professors were asking where she was, her parents kept calling the room. Then she shows up back at the dorm with bandages wrapped around her stomach and a story about being transferred between hospitals due to surgical complications. But I'd already called her parents when she first disappeared. They had no idea she was supposedly in the hospital. They thought she was studying for finals like everyone else, maybe just too busy to call home. When I confronted her with all the evidence, Emma broke down completely, started sobbing and shaking, telling me everything. Turns out she'd been staying at her boyfriend's apartment the whole time, using makeup and fake bandages to create her recovery story. She admitted to faking every single medical emergency for 3 years. The fainting, the migraines, even the appendicitis surgery. She'd learned how to trigger certain symptoms and fool doctors into admitting her for observation. "I just wanted people to care about me," she sobbed. "Everyone's always so busy with their own lives, their own problems. But when I'm sick, people actually pay attention. They bring me things, ask how I'm feeling, treat me like I matter." The worst part? She'd racked up thousands of dollars in unnecessary medical bills that her parents were paying for. Emergency room visits, blood tests, CT scans, procedures she didn't actually need. Her family was going into debt for her performance. Her parents drove up that weekend and moved her out immediately. Last I heard, Emma was in intensive therapy working through whatever made her think almost dying was the only way to feel loved by the people around her.